Hello, greetings, this is Gilles Mansillon. I thought I'd come and wish you a good day. I'm going to pull a few cards with the Angel Tarot. It's a non-contrasted deck. It's a very easy-going deck and entertain some certain thoughts and ideas about this ascension process to see. So, the potential is a renewal. It's a brand new start. It is something, it is in Aries, in the first house. We're going to go through all 12 signs, 12 constellations. For those constellations, I've chosen are all about certain aspect of consciousness. We need to master all 12 aspects. So the first in Aries, in the first house, where this potential is a brand new beginning. It's a renewal. So it is. I will let you interpret them. I hope they will match and resonate with you. What is in Taurus, which is what we possess, is patience. Patience is a wonderful thing to master. Because the whole universe is based on that idea that we need to be patient in order to ascend, and while we wait, we ascend. And so, but it's very difficult to be patient when we live in a physical body, in a linear time. But we possess a certain level of patience, so it is a virtue and quality. Then in Gemini, it is what we communicate, it's our friends, our immediate travel. We have encountering. It's about making those meetings, whether it is professional, it is social, and friendship level, it is romantic. We are communicating this potential of making those meetings. For life, is all of life in the physical world is made of meeting, and it's what makes life. There's the fuel of life, those relationships. Then in Cancer, it's what comes from within, it's the inner world, it's the immediate environment, and here we have intuition. So we are surrounded by the forces of intuition, and it is we are continuing to develop our intuition. Then in Leo, in the fifth house, which is in the heart, which is family and passion, here we have the reward. So we are looking forward to receiving that reward. For it is in the heart already. We wanted to manifest from the ethereal into the physical, but it is already there, so it will come. What we have in the sixth house in Virgo, it's what we nourish ourselves materially, spiritually, about health and so on. And here we have forgiveness. We have to forgive ourselves for the past. For we cannot change the past. We can only but we can always align. It's never too late to align to health, and so to forgive ourselves for whatever mistakes we believe we made, or of a waste of time or whatever, and forgive on others as well, for we nourishing ourselves from this forgiveness, and it is very powerful. What we have in terms of the seventh house, which is the house in Libra, in the house of relationships, then we have protection. We are being protected. There is certain things that spirit is overseeing. The angels are supervising this process. So know you are protected in relationship. So even if we make a mistake in relationship, we'll learn from it and we'll be able to realign. So do not, but still have a sense of intuition in relationship to relationship, whether it is professional. For a lot, in the past I was very much trusting too many people in the world of business, and like they made millions, and then they say, well, do you have a paper? Do you have a contract with us? No. Well, so they took it all, and they say, well, we don't even know you. And many times a few times, so I've learned now that you got to get it in writing, because people are not that sincere or honest, or they're very greedy, and they will do anything. So but we are protected right now. So I'm just don't mean to bring my own process into the picture, but it's still good to be careful in certain fields. And so what comes from the inner self, the Scorpio, which is the eighth house, which is the depths of the subconscious, is hesitation. So it's okay to hesitate, but it's no need to hesitate too long. For hesitation, there is no need to, but there is certain doubts that can still be coming, until our will be solved, will be focused on what determine. What on Sagittarius is our laws, our philosophies, our concern, and here it is indulgence. For I've been always very indulgent in my life. Now I feel I need to be much less indulgent. In a sense, I have no choice, because I have to eat bananas and to see what, I feel like I've always been very generous, although I never had that much money. But whatever I had, I always shared it, and it was always fine. But now I have to count every euro and everything. I feel like, oh, it's not me. I'm not like that. But in a sense, I have no choice. choice, and I know everything will change. So, but I have to be indulgent with my own ego and my own limitation to know that this will change. What comes to us from the great mother, the Capricorn, is courage. Courage. We are getting very courageous, more courageous. The more courage you have, the more love and light we'll have as well. So it is important to utilize that courage to perfect ourselves, to let go of certain limitation that. What we have in Virgo, in the 11th house, which is our hopes, our aspiration, our friends. Here we have justice. So it is wonderful for divine justice. For there is a lot of injustice in the world, and justice is because it's part of the program of immature will. But justice, we're hoping and praying for justice, for balance, for equilibrium, so that everything is fair and we can find this balance. And then in Pisces is the karma, is the unavoidable. And here we have elevation, so we're going to be elevated. It's not depending on our will. It is just a natural state. Once we're ready, we are being elevated, and all will be solved by this elevation, because we'll become aware. We'll become. We still have to navigate, and the outcome to all that is serenity. There is serenity that will be coming. So it is quite wonderful to be serene, because when we agitated, we can't really be clear about what we need to do. So we're asking for lucidity and serenity. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to project anything of the lower frequency, for it is only one life. But every human have to self-determine themselves whether they choose the light or choose the dark. And even within our mind, we have those thoughts that are coming that we do not want to take position on. It's good to be neutral in relationship to our own thoughts, to have no judgment, to be an observer of that, and to observe them without judgment. For once we achieve that point of understanding and love and respect of our whole self, then we can never return to the herd, we can never be manipulated. We would rather die than to be controlled by someone else. That's why all the messengers of God in the past, like the Christ or Socrates or Mahomet, or many of them were facing a lot of difficulty because they were not ready to submit to the powers that be. They had a higher truth to bring, a bit ahead of their times. But so it is because it is the young soul. When they first come, we all come from a very, very divine and light, very light and beautiful planes in heaven. And then we come here, but the young souls that have never experienced darkness are very easily attracted to darkness. They're very easy to manipulate. They're very attracted to that which is heavy because they've never experienced it before. But the old souls have been there, and then they suffer the consequences because of cause and effect of the darkness that they were interested in. And so now we really don't know, as an old soul, we removed ourselves from that which is heavy, that which is dark. And so in a sense, we're all here to serve the Christ consciousness beyond that idea of religion, or if you're Hinduist, it can be Krishna consciousness. It is the same consciousness. But the Christ is the personification, the human personification of the universal Father that came into form. And so we all have that inner Christ, and we're here to serve that way of unconditional love. For He's already decided on the plans, and the plans will not be modified. The plans will succeed, and so we just. What we have to do is to be ourselves and to awaken ourselves. It's enough. We don't need to awaken others. For all will awaken in our relationship to the will of God. For it is like shaking a tree to say, well, I want the fruits to come out. It will not work. What we can do is just to align ourselves and to awaken ourselves. And because we're all different with different timelines, we're programmed differently. What we need to do is to have trust and patience, and to be trustful and patient, and to eliminate the fear and move into love. For there is so much light that is at work. Light is a protective force, and it is an intelligent force. It is a non-spiritual energy of God. It is the intelligence that brings us from matter into spirit. And so love leads us to light, to the inner planes, and fear will lead us to darkness, out to the outer matrix. For there is light everywhere. So I'm not saying that because something is outside it is dark or anything. For it is all one. But the inner light has to be dominant within ourselves to create this separation between well, not a separation, but to discern those things and to be contemplative. It's good to know that we can connect and lean on the Arcturians, the Syrians, the Pleiadians, the Archangels, the Ascended Masters. Those are forces that are constantly in the light and divine will, and so we can always call on them. And to assist in the clearing up all the blockages and what is called the violet fire of transmutation for all this change in the universe. But change doesn't mean positive change. When transmutation or transfiguration means always positive, so utilize the violet fire. Another aspect that's important to do is to write down your dreams whenever you dream, or when you have somebody that's trustworthy enough. The other day I was trying to discuss it with others, to discuss a dream with someone who's he just didn't understand, and he just buzzed and he just blew it. It became like complete like a madman because I was talking about this dream. So it's like it was a mistake to talk about this dream. But when we talk about dreams or we write it down, we discover the meaning of them. So it is important because sometimes we don't understand the meaning of it. Just writing it down is sometimes enough to discover the hidden meaning within dreams. For me, dreams are, and so and when we feel joy, we know where we came here for, why we came here into this incarnation, where we choose to take this physical body. In a sense, we took this physical body to assist the planet with her transition, with her ascension, and because she needed light souls to come into physical body to alleviate the darkness from the ground, because it cannot be done from the outside, from the upper plane. And so my master guide explained to me a long time ago that if I would have chosen to come into this reality, in this matrix 100 years from now, I would be completely accepted. My art, my philosophy, everything would have been completely accepted. But so it's like, but it was going to be, he warned me that I had to bite the bullet a little bit, because it was, I chose to incarnate a bit ahead of my time, because I wanted to feel in depth the transition between the old and the new, and just being born was enough to fulfill my mission on the planet. But then everything, hopefully we'll be able to integrate the joy and the happiness very soon. We'll be able to be free from all kinds of all the limitations. Sometimes it feels like being on the earth is not a reward. It's not to have taken this physical body. No matter what we do, we're not always being appreciated or rewarded, or even just being supported, but it's part of the process. We have to trust that everything we do has great meaning, and there will come a point in time where our soul and spirit will find it's enough, and they will free us, and we'll be able to be in our power, and we'll be able to anchor this light on a much larger plane. For I know Spirit was talking about my book too. That's very important. It's a very small book. I put beginning of an English translation called Beyond the Veils of Illusion, I Am. You may want to look into it. So I'm going to sing a song and pull a few more cards. It's a French song that was, this is the English version of a French song, and it goes like this. It's a romantic song. If you go away on this summer day, then you might as well take the sun away. All the birds that flew in the summer sky, when our love was new and our hearts were high, and the day was young and the night was long, and the moon stood still for the night bird's song. If you go away, if you go away, if you go away. But if you stay, I'll make you a day like no day has been or will be again. We'll sail the sun, we'll ride on the rain, we'll talk to the trees and fly with the wind. But if you go away when I love you so, there'll be nothing left in this world, you know. Just an empty space full of empty room, like the empty look I see on your face. If you go away, if you go away, if you go away. But if you stay, I'll make you a day like no day has been or will be again. We'll sail the sun, we'll ride on the rain, we'll talk to the trees and fly with the wind. But if you go away, please don't go away. It's the version of Terry Jacques, song of Jacques Brel, of course, a very famous Belgian singer, author. And for life, it's going to become a great adventure, and hopefully we'll find the right person to share that adventure with, this great adventure of life. And so I will pull a few more cards to see, to conclude this message. For the highest wisdom for us from the Akash is the knighthood. It's about being brave, to being courageous, to defend our value, to defend our principle, to be noble in spirit. What we need to understand is the galactic, is connecting to these higher planes of the galactic, and to connect to, for we already have a whole support team up there that is always available 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. Every day, they're always available, always. So tune in, connect, call on them, and see how you feel when you can be very specific. Or the more specific we are, the more precise the answer is always. What we need to do is the orphan, is to accept. To understand that we haven't yet found our true place in the world, but. It will come for this disconnection from Creator and God is very temporary. It's like no matter how long can be our life, even if we lived the 10,000 years in the physical body, it would just be a drop of ocean, and then as soon as we die or as soon as we pass on, we reconnect to this great source, this great divine love. And we realize we've never been disconnected, so we may as well try to make this connection and to know that God is always with us, to always feel that, and to for here I feel a bit I have just to illustrate that the idea of orphan is that I no longer have family here, and even I have a few friends, and they all have pretty nice apartments, but they're all like, oh no, I wanted to exchange for a week, staying with them for a week in exchange for a painting, and they all like, oh no, I have a few boxes there, it's not comfortable, I don't want to bother you with that, so I can't receive you. Well, I lived in America for 20 years, and I've had a few situations where there was like no place to stay, and I always had many options of many places that have a great sense of hospitality in America. Well, I don't want to generalize, for those French people that have a sense of hospitality, but they're not here around here, and so. But it's like maybe in the future they might regret not having not having made that deal. If my work is worth millions of dollars, sometimes in the future they were there. But in any event, so once we overcome this idea of orphan, we realize we made some wishes. So we want to let go of all wishes that in the past that connects us to lack or to abstinence or to celibacy and all those things. We want to disconnect all, because in the past life we might have made wishes of poverty, or because the church was very powerfully inclined into making us like that. And so we want to disconnect all those vows, those old vows of poverty, of celibacy, of self-inflicted pain and judgment and all those things, to make new vows of abundance, of joy, of sharing, of prosperity. And then the karmic relation for the good relationship will come. Everything is planned in relationship, and the outcome will be Asia. Here it is the Lord Buddha, it is serenity, it is lucidity. We're going to be able to elevate ourselves, and all of this will soon be this passage. So I hope you're passing through this period with ease. And sometimes I'm like, I still have my ego that's calling me to do certain things, and then my soul is reminding me that this is something different that will happen, but I still have to go through the process. So it's a challenging time, but I thank you very much for everything, for those who are sending good energy, good thoughts, or donations, or those who are acquiring art, or asking for readings, personal readings. If you wish, just send me a message. I thank you very much. I wish you a wonderful day, a wonderful week, and I'll talk to you later. Namaste.